Oh, what a way to start the Thursday. Fantastic. I'm going to get you some messages. Someone saying, good morning, Jim. Thank you for the throwback. Reminded me of my secondary school days. Beautiful memories. And someone said, Jude, passing near, but I can't pass whatever it is you're asking me to pass because I don't know whatever it is you're talking about. But yes, it is a fantastic Thursday morning and we have the one and the only original son of the soul, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I give you the man who eats and breathes the earth that is beneath this very Port Harcourt land, the man from whom the oil literally flows to his veins. China, Ikwereman Acheru is in the studio this morning. We have to give him the proper hello Port Harcourt applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure. Namaste. Guten Tag. All right, good morning, China. Good to have you join us.
Jude.
Yes, please.
What's the state of your mental health?
I am absolutely awesome this morning.
Are you sure?
You have no idea.
I hear the new Apple Watch can check your mental health.
Oh, yeah, I hear they can have that brainwave thing.
Do you have one?
I don't need one.
Are you okay, right?
I'm okay. I have boiled and fish. I have corn. I have ube, Gary, and native soup does it for me. So yeah, I'm always fine. When I have these three things,
okay, it's
I'm
good
fine.
to be on the show with a fellow madman.
Irony. Okay, all right. Somebody here says, Jude, what secondary school did you go to? This song is reminding me of my jams. Well, yes, it was everywhere. Dancehall was literally the go-to sound back in the 90s. But we'll talk about that later. This morning, China is here with us because, like I told you a few weeks ago, he is a connoisseur of palm wine. And if you ever in doubt about how much he loves palm wine, pay him a visit. I have no doubt you will get entertained with a cup or two of palm wine. Now, where I'm from, we also have palm wine. Rizzo Palm, also here in Port Harcourt. And we also have a very big plant in Edo State. Those of you who know where Edo State is, and you know where Ogbese is, and you also know, that there's a huge oil palm plantation there where they don't just make palm oil, they also get to produce some of the finest palm wine in the region. But why are we talking about palm wine this morning? Now, on the office beat this morning, we're looking at endangered jobs. Now, China brought to my attention that yes, the art of palm wine making is gradually dying, and he's worried that very soon people will not be able to get the locally made, the flavor that comes with locally made palm wine. But is it just palm wine? Because after I had that conversation with him, I got to speak to some market women, and then I told him afterwards, I think it was yesterday I did tell you, that people are also talking about things like buying the nsam, for example. There's a special way that they go to fish and farm this particular seafoods. You have to go far out into the ocean, but they don't use diving gear. These fishermen are specialist divers. They go without any instrument, nothing, and they're able to bring us certain delicacies that we like to eat. But guess what? Not a lot of people are getting into that particular industry. China, why? And why are you worried about these endangered jobs?
Worried because a time will come when we'll completely lose it. Now, we watch movies, right? Some old movies, and we'll see some maybe old African communities or old Asian communities where a man can be ill of a particular kind of ailment, and someone just goes into the bush, picks a particular leaf.
True.
And he's cured. Now, where are those people? We know people that can just walk into the forest and just look at the sand and know what kind of animal has just gone past,
yeah.
Or by the smell in the air, or like the Bible says, the men of Issachar who understood the times. So some people can just look at the clouds and they will be able to tell if it's going to rain in 2 days or if it's not going to rain. Now, where has all this gone? Because people are dying with the age-old traditions. I'll tell you something that will shock you. My maternal grandfather was a fisherman on my mother's side. As a rule, we don't buy fish from my mom. It's a waste of time. Total waste of time. Now, if you buy fresh fish from my mom, she looks at it, she prods it with her fingers. She said, I can't eat this. And I'll go, why? Say, because it wasn't caught the normal way with a net. He was killed with dynamite.
Wow.
Mommy, how do you know? She says, look, my father was a fisherman. You don't know these things. But how do you know? She says, okay, put it in water. Boil the water, it's going to scatter. And once the water gets hot, the fish has gone into different pieces.
Yeah.
See, I told you so, dynamite. You buy fresh fish from my mother. She looks at it, she touches it, says, no, this one was in the fridge for 2 days. Mommy, how do you know? She says, my father was a fisherman. So to avoid her
complaints,
yes, she was kind of finicky when it comes to fish. We just give her money. And because of what I learned from my mom, I hardly buy fresh fish. Because I don't know the difference. So I'd rather not venture into it. And there was only one woman my mom really trusted to bring fish for her from the village. I mean, if she hears her name, shout out to you, Wolu Messi, my fish plug. She's the only one that brings fish for me because I'm sure she's going to go, yes.
Properly caught.
Now, when my mom dies, how do I know the difference between fish caught with a net and fish killed with a dynamite? I have no idea. Do you have an idea?
I don't.
None of us do. So these things are getting lost because the people that know these things are dying without passing on these traditions to us. Now, some 10 years back, I was talking to a friend of mine, rewarding Sirin from Akpo Kingdom, and he said, I fear that very soon we won't have palm wine in Ikwerre land anymore. And I cheekily said, oh, you guys are selling all your land. Because that was what came to my mind. He said, it's not about selling the land. It's about the fact that the palm wine tappers keep getting older.
True. And
the younger generation are not ready to learn to tap palm wine. No 20-year-old wants to climb a tree.
But isn't there money in palm wine? Like I said, in those states, we have the plantation where they make palm wine, and it's even bottled. I'm sure you see some.
Yes, I know. I heard about it.
Yeah, it's bottled. It looks really nice. So are they saying people are not interested because there's money in it?
Look at Gen Z. Would they rather sit in front of a computer, or would they want to climb a tree with a rope around their waist? Think about it.
But what if there was a way to modernize the palm wine making business?
Modernize, yes. Now, whether I like it or not, who wants to be called a palm wine tapper?
I see.
Now you get.
I see what you mean.
Yes.
I see.
So there'll be a danger in 10 years. One of them is the fact that we are selling off all our lands. Second one is the fact that even for the land that's available, who's going to climb the tree to tap the wine, the palm wine? There'll be danger for us in a few years' time.
All right, so there'll be dangers. Chance saying there'll be dangers in a few years' time, but it's not just palm wine.
No, it's not.
Like I made mention, even the fishery business. Fishermen. We live in the Niger Delta, where fishing is a primary source, not just of food, but of income. It's also endangered. But do you know some of the jobs that you are in right now, are also in danger of becoming extinct in the next 30 to 40 years? Now, I did a bit of reading yesterday and 2 days ago, and I found out that as at 2008, it was predicted that some of the jobs that people had back then would no longer exist by 2030. This is 2023, 7 years to go. But it gets even more interesting. In front of me is a screen. It's a list, futuristic speaker. And it says here that there are about 100 jobs that might be extinct or are in danger of not being relevant or being as popular as they were now or are right now by 2030, and guess what, 2050. By 2030, 90% of the news will be written by computers. That means people like us. People like us are in danger. So the question is, there's a fine line. Humanity has always gone on the side of progression. But there is a balance. There is meant to be a human element. There is meant to be a certain intuitiveness in almost every single field of endeavor. From palm wine making to fishing. You just heard China say the maternal grandfather was a fisherman. So the grandmother knew what type of fish was properly caught. Maybe science can tell you because chemicals are involved. But I've heard of some people just touching a certain fruit and knowing that this fruit is not good for consumption. It looks good to you and I. When we come back, we'll be asking, what next for you? How then can we preserve the culture and indeed these jobs? We're talking about endangered jobs in the Niger Delta and indeed everywhere in the world. But we're starting off with the Niger Delta. We've talked about palm wine, talked about fish, and even farming. Some sort of farming also endangered. Now my question to you is this. Can and should these endangered jobs be saved? Now, my guest this morning, China, says it's all about the culture. Yes, we all have televisions, we all have mobile phones, but guess what? There's been a lot of criticism about the usage of these devices. We now have devices that connect us better than they did than ever before. But are people connecting? You go to bars, you go outside, and people, when they're meant to be in the club having a rave and dancing, they are on their mobile phones. Interesting. Now, you like palm wine. Are you sure about the palm wine you are drinking? You like fish. Do you worry? In fact, right now, I am very worried about the fish I'm now eating because I love to eat fish a lot. But it's not just that. What about the other farming techniques? Yes, we know that we should modernize. We know we should develop. We should move to the 21st century, become more mechanized, improve the value chain for every aspect of our lives. But what about our cultural identity? Can and should it be saved? These particular jobs. My name is Jude. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hello Port Harcourt.
And now, Hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so China, quickly before we let you go, do you think they can be saved? Do you think they should be saved, these endangered jobs?
I don't think it can be saved. While I was thinking about something, right? Some jobs have been lost by inanimate objects. For example, 10 years back, when I go to my office, on my desk will be a calendar, a diary, a dictionary, a calculator. But all of this is now in my phone, my handheld device. So 4 objects have lost their jobs. So I think it's just getting to the turn of human beings.
Wow.
We can't avoid it. When I worked at my first radio station in 2002, at some point, my head of news would say, you guys I was basically one of the few that had a laptop. So you guys have to get computer literate. Very soon, jobs will be lost. Because then we had a secretary that would type the news for us. Now we all type our news ourselves and submit. We had so we had people that would do things that can't be done. So jobs have been lost already. We have the laptop doing the job of a typist of back in those days, the imperial typewriter and all of that. So jobs are going to be lost, and more jobs will be lost. The advent of the AI, artificial intelligence, a lot more jobs will be lost.
All right,
we can't avoid it.
A lot more jobs will be lost. We cannot avoid it. All right, so China has to take his leave right now, but we're going to open the phone lines this morning. Thank you very much, Mr. China. You still owe me palm wine, by the way.
Just give the word.
How about next week? Okay, tomorrow is too short. So
give the day.
Any day next week. A nice bottle will be good.
5 liters.
That's my main.
Freshly tapped.
All right, so let's get to have you join us on the conversation this morning. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007. All right, use those numbers. Drop your name and your location, and we'd like to get to hear from you this morning. Now, we have handles that you can use on social media at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH for Facebook and Twitter. Please be reminded, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. If you didn't see it or hear it, please do not make mention of it. Do not make mention of unsubstantiated and unverified claims. And do not make inciting statements.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
My 2.3, good morning. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Yeah, Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning, please.
Thank you for this program. It's a challenge and a clarion call to us. The church and democracy has caused us more harm. Christianity, but the church. Look at the kind of messages they preach to us. They condemn our tradition and our culture. They condemn it totally. Everything is evil. But it's not true. I'm an Ijoman from Bayelsa State. My ancestors are fishermen and farmers. There was the way they look at the sky. Let's go to the river. And the way they look at it, they say, no, don't go, you will not catch any fish. Now, me, I cannot pass this knowledge to my children because I've forgotten all those signs. There is a way the wind will blow. They say the river will be dangerous. Don't cross it for now. And before you know, every wind, the river will be rough. But today, do we try it? I think a few times ago, I was going to Bile, and honestly speaking, to a point, the river became rough. It now flashed me back, growing up as a child, the signs my parents were teaching us. Now, for the issue of the palm wine, let me be honest to you. Most of the things we drink as the nectars that are bottled in most supermarkets, I know I'm guilty of buying it. To be honest, those things are not real palm wine. The real one is the one that is being tapped. And we are drinking it early this morning. Before 10, 11, it is fresh. You are feeling the fever of the palm wine. I celebrate one elderly man that used to supply me. The guy is doing well. But the truth is this, our generation, how do we pass it on? We need to go back to our villages now. We need to conserve our cultural heritage, our local dances, our festivals, our masquerade. All this, the church said they are evil.
Yeah, but China did make mention that, look, at some point, some of these things will be lost. You cannot fight the wave of development. We didn't use, we are not using holes anymore. At least they're not encouraged to use holes anymore. Farming has moved on. Even technology has moved on. He mentioned that typists are no longer, employed these days. Everybody can type on their computer. So is it really the fault of the people that they're not going to learn?
No, you just mentioned of typists. Typewriter now. How many Genjis know how typewriter looks like? How many of them are punched typewriters?
But it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
It is because we did not conserve it. We are saying, let's move with the wave. Technology, development. No. Even in China today, there are environments they call conservatives. This is area have been conserved. We don't farm here. We don't build houses here. True. Mechanic machines don't come in here. These things are reserved. Okay. Look at us here. We buy land. We're even happy buying the land, falling the trees, cutting the aquatic life, destroying everything. We need to go back to where we are coming from, or else, just like the Avatar, we'll just be watching and we'll destroy everything that belongs to us. What story will we tell our children? When last did you see the moonlight in this?
That's a good question. What stories do we tell our children? Okonkwo is in Rumokuta. We have Clement waiting on NTA Road. Good morning to you, Okonkwo. Welcome, please.
Thank you, Brother Jude. Important topic. Losing palm wine. Losing our farming culture and farming activity. The reason is because politics has taken over everything. And you know that politics is the only easiest way of becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, and a trillionaire within 1 month, or within 2 months, or within 6 months. So every person's mind is on politics. I give you an example. At any place that there's a political program, go and see millions and see hundreds of thousands of persons. So no person is interested in going for farming again or going into palm wine tapping business again. We have lost everything. Let me tell you, everything that has to do with culture and tradition has been lost in this country because of politics. Thank you.
All right, so politics to be blamed. Clement is speaking to us from NTRO. Clement, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. John.
Good morning.
You see, Mr. G, very interesting topic, and this is one of my major projects, and I have started something. But of course, like every other project, there are challenges. You will agree with me that a lot of persons are getting maybe 1 or 2 plots to farm these days. You will agree with me. You will know 1 or 2 persons. However, the challenges are that the host communities are not preserving or protecting the persons who are within them. Laziness, hunger, carelessness, and all that are part of it. Now, let me say this. The meat pie, I'm using meat pie as an example. The meat pie I tasted in 1990. Early 2000 and all that. It's not the same meat pie now. Look, call the size of the meat pie. I will pay for it. You can never get the same taste. You know, the flavor, everything is gone. Now, why is it like that? That is because, you know, you watch something, you cannot get the precise thing that you put together to achieve the taste. Other than looking at somebody, you know, our mothers then, who were, you know, practically doing it for you to see, and they hand things down to whoever is interested in it. Now, nobody wants to pick it up. I must say that we are upgrading. You cannot expect somebody to be using hands to be washing clothes when there is a machine for it.
Fair enough. Yes, I agree with you. But you see that analogy, Clement, right? You know, the question has to be, now that we are developing, yes, get washing machine, get rice cooker, but guess what? More people are having to look for monies to buy a washing machine. How much is a washing machine? How much is even the electric pressing iron these days? How much is the dryer? Almost everything that people are going to use in terms of technology is going to require them to make money. But the question is, how do they even make the money if the jobs that they're going to use are no longer available?
Now, that is where government comes in. You see, everything is still goes down to the people who we elected or elected to be there. And this elected persons, of course, appoint persons to be there. Let me use the Ministry of Chieftaincy. There's a ministry like that. You know, another ministry interacts directly with the chiefs and the locals. That is where I believe these things can be preserved. Like, I'm a content creator, Mr. Jude. If I take my camera, my mic, and I go to, let's say, a royal palace, for instance, Mr. Jude, you need to see, maybe your reporters can attest to this. You need to see the rejection. In fact, sometimes you even pay something that will give you visibility, something that will put your community on the world, on the map or something like that. You want me to pay you to put your community on the world, you know, on the internet. You know, it's not possible. I will take my tire with my brain and I will go, and it's going to die with me. That's the truth.
It's a very difficult scenario we find ourselves, Clement. Ikechi speaking to us from Eneka. Ikechi, good morning to you, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, preserving our culture and the things that happened in ancient times. I heard of a place in Indonesia where they still make salt, the ancient way where it's still done. And also, preserving our culture. You see, in order to counter Mr. Zion in any way, coming to get up to say we should return to our masquerade, we should return to... My brother, who all these things head?
But what is wrong, Ikechi? What's wrong with, you know, having children learn about their masquerades? In China, for example, the New Year festival, the Chinese New Year, is celebrated with their costumes, the dragons and all the other mythological creatures. They dress like them. They still celebrate with them.
There is nothing wrong, personally, with learning about those things, but the current generation is not going to go back with something tied around their waist trying to harvest palm wine.
Okay, so what if it was more than that? What if it was
tech and engineering and other things? Over time, things have changed, my brother. Things have changed, and Humans will always progress. Humans will always go forward. You cannot stop it. Even the AI now is not even set to pose a danger to us from 2030.
Yes, it is.
So that will show you that humans are going forward. My advice is that we should still teach the children about our culture, about our history, and obviously we sit down and we inculcate these things, but definitely things will be lost, and there's no way to bring them back. It's inevitable because man must move forward.
Okay, it's inevitable that some things would be lost. Now, Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us this morning. I get to read some of your messages now. This one here says, good morning, Jude. You are nostalgically infusing this morning. As from Zion, oh yeah, the song we started out this morning. Oh, you guys, there's so much more to come. I could say, Jude, you don't miss any opportunity to rub it on the face of those of us who were not born in the 90s. I'm hopefully listening to hear an old school song I know. Well, Celia, I hope I will not disappoint you this morning. Good morning, Jude. I've always liked China for upholding tradition, natural beliefs, and culture. Big ups to him. We're losing our natural way of doing things so fast, and it is really bad. These days, you can hardly find the young boys in the villages who cut palm fruit, let alone brewing palm wine. Palm wine brewing is a specialized skill. Bernard with that comment. Yes, specialized. How many people need to do it the old way? That's the real question. Do we need to do it the old way? Isn't there a way that it can be improved upon? Oh dear, that was Henry from Borokiri. Apologies to you, Henry. Jude, I'm heading to the village in Bisay now. I'm with my gallon that I will take palm wine back to Port Harcourt. I don't miss it. That's Christian, and apparently has a picture to prove that to us. Good morning to the men in the studio. Mr. Chana, I would like to know your palm wine sauce. I am interested in it. Thank you for understanding and your understanding and your consideration. All right, thank you very much. Palm wine is no longer tapped from the palm trees, but now produced using sugar and other dangerous organic substances by some wicked fellows who are making millions of naira from selling this poisonous drink. Why are we being so wicked to our fellow men, to our fellow man, in the name of wanting to make fast money by any means to the detriment of the health of others? Big question. Henry is in Borokiri. Henry, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah. You see, one of the problems are parents. When you don't inculcate these cultures in the life of your children, you see it as a waste of time, just like the former caller just said. You see it as a waste of time. So the children will not want to learn about those things. They will just see it as it's a waste of time. My dad is no longer doing this. Let's just forget about it. Those cultures are dead. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Henry. Waste of time. Fine. Like I think it was Clement that made mention that we will evolve, and as we're evolving, some things will be lost. But this is where the line truly is, and this is going to be a problem not just for us here in the Niger Delta or River State, but it's going to be the problem all over the world. 2 decades ago, right? A lot of people would say, "Oh, if you want to blend tomatoes or pepper, use grinding stone. It's natural. It allows the earth to mix with the." But come on, we now all use blenders. But do you know, as more people are using blenders, particularly in the urban centers, did you know that the stonesmiths who used to make those grinding stones are no longer in business? That job is gone. It's lost. And likely lost forever. And we can say the same for virtually every aspect of our contemporary lifestyle today. I told you, the job I am doing right now is in danger from artificial intelligence. In the next 30 years, it's going to be in danger, if not in the next 15. It is in danger. We have to find new ways of harnessing this new technology to stay relevant. But as we are starting to stay relevant, are we also losing our culture? Zion made mention that, look, in China, for example, they still dress up in the same styles that they've done for over 1,000 years. Why can't we do that? Okay, Chiku, speaking to us from Ada George. Good morning to you, please.
Yes. Yes, well, it's a very, very interesting topic. Really, I've really learned a lot from this topic today, one thing about the Gen Z is that... Hello?
Okay, Chiku, we can hear you. Please go on.
Yes, one thing about the Gen Z is the fact that, they are after profit-making ventures. Okay, now let's take you back in terms of doing our forefathers, our grandparents, they did fishing, they did power tapping. Was it profit making? How much did they make from it? That's what generation, the Gen Z, they are really after. The profit making ventures, businesses that will yield profit. That is another challenge. That is another way to look at it. So it is based on that you see people going into different businesses. The modern world, they go into different online laptops and everything, gadgets here and there. Nobody wants to do power tapping, not because of it's not lucrative enough, but the profit is not. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, you're talking about the profit margin, looking at the risk and the reward in it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so that's a big problem. But how can we incentivize it? Uzoma is speaking to us from Imo State. Good morning, Uzoma.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
So I want to assure you that our power will always be there. The reason is because when men get mature to Star Wars, they go for the big ones, high ambition. But after some time, maybe we fail and go back to the village. When they come back, they take up all jobs like this for one. Until it happen over and over again. It was meant to happen like that.
Oh, let's see. Maybe for palm wine it will happen like that, but like China made mention, fishing right now is endangered. I remember, I think it was last year we had a similar conversation where some people alluded. I think our reporter went to investigate and found out that some people were actually using chemical fishing to harvest natural fish in the waters. Now, yes, you could literally, as it were, get a huge haul, right, from using dynamite or chemical, but you have adverse effects on the water, on the aquatic life, and also on the fish, because most of these chemicals are heavy elements or heavy chemicals, and so when you ingest them, they don't break down easily. Not to sound as an alarmist, but speaking to China this morning, I am literally doubting where I buy fish from today. Like, I am literally doubting. I have genuine concerns about where, and maybe you should, where and how you buy fish. Now let's get to Facebook, shall we? At Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. Can and should some of these jobs, these endangered jobs, be saved in the Niger Desert? That's where we are going to this one. Anande Tenna says we need to upgrade. Obi is no longer a boy. Palm wine business can't buy a Venza, please. Good morning. Aha! There you have it. Was that Uzoma? Was that Okechukwu who made mention about profit margins? People don't believe that they can, in quotes, buy a good car from selling palm wine. I don't know if that's true, because I've seen people, buy great things with water, retailing water. So I don't know. I really can't say, but I understand the narrative there. It's how it's being perceived. But the big issue here is that technology is going to drive the world forward, but it might also do that at the expense of other lives and livelihoods. The biggest problem and solution at the moment is artificial intelligence, AI. There has to be a line. Now, Abigail, I've just read just seen your message on the device. Abigail was the one who called yesterday wanting to find out a song I played on the show. So yesterday we got to listen to Sir Victor Owaifu, right, Jeremy. Also we listened to yesterday, and we also got to listen to The Boy Is Mine by Monica and Brandy. All right, stay tuned. 90.3 Nigeria Info returns.
We bring news,